Jackson, what's up? Jackson!
What?
What's wrong?
The whole thing.
What whole thing?
Just all of it.
I don't know what you're talking about.
It's agony, Lachlan.
What is?
The year.
The year.
It's 2019.
I know.
It's an odd number.
Oh, you're f***ing kidding me.
Ah. Ugh.
Jackson, come on.
It's cringe.
You can't cringe for a whole year.
Well, I've done it for 9 months.
There's nothing wrong with odd numbers.
Odd numbers are evil.
Alright, here we go, Jackson. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Who the f*** put the air conditioner on 21?
Right, yes, welcome back, my brothers. Oh, it's finally here. All right, first things first, I got a cold, all right? I feel terrible. I'm coming to the end of a... All right, this is James, the editor. As it turns out, not just a cold, I actually got COVID. I've never actually had COVID before, so this is a new experience. But yeah, so if I sound weird, it's because of COVID. Week off that I've had in January, the start of January, and for whatever reason, I've woke up this morning all full of head cold. So if I sound weird and nasally, that's why. Okay. But I've had to make this video. I couldn't not make this video after my last one, where I went through the old white dwarves. How can I not talk about not only the fact that Games Workshop's released the first battle report video on their YouTube channel, Warhammer Plus and all that, with the old world Bretonnians versus Tomb Kings, and I've got some thoughts about that. But they've also, pre-orders went live at 10 o'clock this morning. Pre-orders all sold out within hours. At time of recording, it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I didn't bother joining the queue this morning because I'm not, desperately afraid. If it's popular, they'll print more, But yeah, we are talking within hours. So 10 a.m. the pre-orders went live, and 2 o'clock when I checked, all sold out across the field. So Bretonnian army box for 155 quid or whatever it is, Tomb King's army box for 175 pound, whatever it is, completely sold out pre-order wise. The rule book for like 50-60 quid, that's sold out. All the brand new models all sold out. Even the lich priest for 9 quid, he's gone. I mean, he's a bargain, isn't it? 9 quid, you can't really argue with that. But like all sold out. Incredible. I mean, people are saying online that it took about an hour, and I can believe that, to be fair, because the queuing system for the website was waiting times are currently 1 hour. Like, yeah, I wonder why. And already, damage control is in full effect. You've got people on 4chan and Reddit and 100 different social media pages saying, oh my goodness, does this spell the end for Age of Sigmar? And well, Warhammer Fantasy wasn't popular enough, that's why they killed it 10 years ago. Yeah, then why is it selling out now? Why is it selling out like hotcakes now? Selling out more than the latest Age of Sigmar starter set release, I might add. What was it, Dominus, or whatever it was, selling out fast. And it's just, you could build a tomb with the amount of those boxes. But we are not here to talk about inferior games. We are here to talk about the glorious return of Warhammer Fantasy Battles in the form of the old world. And it's so good. It feels so good that it's back, and it is finally here. And it looks so familiar. It all looks right. You look at the battle report and it looks so good. Everything looks so correct. There's not a single model that doesn't fit in on that table, or piece of terrain, or oh well, we just we converted up this Stormcast into a Bretonnian knight. Like, there's none of that. There's none of that at all. It's wonderful, absolutely wonderful. 10 out of 10 would watch again. But memes aside, like just to talk on the battle report for a moment, I have no idea what the point sizes of these forces are meant to be. Because you look at the Bretonnian one and it's not that big, but you sink a lot of points into characters. But they've only got one character in the entire force, right? And then you look at the Tomb King's force, 2 characters, a whole swarm of different units. maybe 2,000 points, but that's a stretch. It's there are two things that really jumped out at me. The first being that strength-based armor reduction is no longer a thing. So traditional Warhammer Fantasy, any weapon or any unit that was strength 4 or higher would start to incur penalty to the opponent's armor save. So strength 4 was -1, strength 5 was -2, and so on. It's why it made sense to equip units with great swords or flails or what have you, halberds, because it added +1 or +2 to your strength stat at the expense of, you know, striking last in combat. But, you know, it didn't matter if you struck last if you knew what you were going to hit would die because it couldn't take a save. So that's gone. There's a bit very early on in the battle report with...
Right, your champion may be dead already, but I'm all about overkill, so my Pegasus is going to smash you to bits with his hoof as well.
Nice.
What's left of your bones. So he's got 2 hits.
Nice.
So strength 5 in the Royal Pegasus, so I'm winning by 2 or more as well.
Oh no, it's failed one.
The ones continue to plague me.
There's no AP on this, so I do have a 6-up save from my light armor. There we go, I've passed that save, so he's just dead twice.
The guy's like, yes, and my Pegasus makes its hoof attacks for strength 5. Ah, well, I've still got my 6-up light armor save. And it's like, yeah, previous editions, you wouldn't have had that. You wouldn't have had that because 6 would go to 7, which would go to 8. So it's gone. It's gone. You can't make that armor save. At least Warhammer 8th, you couldn't make that armor save. But then there's a bit later on as well where casting, so the strength-based armor reducing mechanic, okay, it's gone. I imagine after a game, maybe 2, you'll forget about it. You won't worry too much about it. The bit that will stand out, I think, is the change from, and this was announced previously with the magic and how the system rolls with rolling 2 dice and, you know, for casting spells, and the irresistible miscast. When you used to roll boxcars, you rolled 2 6s, that's a 12, that's a irresistible cast, so it's going off, but it's a miscast, so chances are your wizard's going to have a bad time coming out the other end of it. It was the payoff for investing heavy into a really powerful spell, but also knowing that the risk is you get that spell off, it can't be dispelled, but now your wizard's exploded. You know, it's one of them. But that's gone because at one point the guy cast a spell, 2 6s, there you go. It's irresistible, can't be dispelled. That's it. End of story. Yeah, the battle. So yeah, that'll probably be the thing that takes longer to kind of catch up on when you're playing games, because you're going to be like, oh yeah, I rolled 2 6s. Well, no, does that mean my wizard's going to die? Oh no, it's fine because irresistible miscast isn't a thing anymore. What else is there to say? I mean, yeah, the rest of the battle report, it's very much, if you go back and have a look at my video from Leviathan 10th edition Warhammer 40k from like a few months back, or 6 or 8 or 9 or whenever it was, it's a little like that. This is the free one that should normally be on Warhammer Plus, their subscription service, but they've put it on YouTube so everyone can watch it, basically. Absolutely fantastic. I highly recommend watching the battle report. It is staged because all their battle reports are staged, because of course they are, because they are a company designed to sell products. So their battle reports are not going to be the perfectly flawless, oh my god, look what the dice rolled, it's the random dice gods that have decided the outcome of this. No, it's not random chance at all. There's going to be manipulation. There's going to be little things. There's a point, I think it's Simon or whatever his name is. He goes, oh yeah, my generals died, but maybe the curse of Necropolis will kill your guy. And he bigs it up and then squiffs the roll. And it's like, and they just drop the scene dead there. And it's like, oh, that's, yeah, you could have fudged the roll there a little bit. Might have been a bit more cinematic, but oh, and it is good. It is a good day, my brothers, to go onto the Games Workshop website after so long and to see without a shadow of a doubt all of the wonderful, the old world products that exist, all entire 2 forces that exist. I mean, you get why that. Oh, it's ridiculous. It's all gone. That's the thing. It's all out of stock. Wow, you can pre-order the books that no one's going to pre-order because they're just going to get the PDFs. Like it's so strange. Like it makes perfect sense for Bretonnians and Two Kings to be the first ones back because those were the first ones deleted. So of course their fan bases are going to be frothing at the mouth, but everything's just gone. Mounted Yeomen, Battle Pilgrims, everything. What is currently not sold out? Pegasus Knights and Forces of Fantasy and Kingdom of Bretonia. That's it. 3 products out of 16 still there. And what about Tomb Kings of Khemri? There's a bit more. Necropolis Knights are there. War Sphinx is there. Necro Sphinx is there. Sepulchral Stalkers, Tomb Guard, Cetra the Imperishable. But of course, Cetra does not serve Cetra rules. These Shabti actually sold out. £50 for 3 models. They sold out. What? Were people so desperate for those models to come back? They were like, I can't help myself. They're the metal ones as well, where they recast in resin. DDD, multi-part metal kits. It's the OG metals. Oh, bless them. And I know what Games Workshop have said about how, oh yeah, this isn't old stock that we found in a warehouse somewhere and we just sell it. It's like, you don't have to defend yourself, GW. It's fine. I'm not going to judge you for it. Bless them, the Lich Priest again selling out. Like, mate, it's £9. It's a monopose model, and it just perfectly fits, doesn't it? That's the model. Oh, it's metal as well. I feel certain that got cast in resin at one point. Like 90% certain. All the new models that they've been previewing for the last few months, like the last year, they're all sold instantly. The dice, of course. It's really only the weird stuff like the Tomb Guard. Anyone who watched my previous video, again, the prices on these things have rocketed, but you know, who's surprised? I like the fact that the Necro Sphinx / Khemrian War Sphinx, I like the fact that that's back because, mate, that was one of the standout models from back in the day. And you know what the ironic thing is? Like, they don't even have to try that hard to update the website. They've got all of these photos. They've got all these publicity photos from like 10 years ago. Their stuff hasn't changed that much. Their painting hasn't changed that much, you know? So these could just be the old photos uploaded from 10 years ago. We're not going to know. The box art is new, of course, because it's a new box, but everything else, like the sprue photos, like, mate, it could just be the classic stuff. I suppose the big question is, are we going to see the crossover with all the Age of Sigmar stuff, you know? And I mean, come on, guys, there's a bit of a reason, there's a bit of an elephant in the room as to why, you know, certain factions aren't in the old world, and it's not for some timeline lore reasons. It's, you know, the Seraphon, like the lizard men in Age of Sigmar, they've done a lot of expansion there. They don't just want to start immediately porting it over to fantasy. Same for Skaven, same for Ogre Kingdoms, same for a lot of it. I mean, Dark Elves, it's a bit simpler because hang on. Oh, towards the end of its life, Warhammer Fantasy had quite a lot of new stuff arrive for the Dark Elves. And whenever I get into arguments online about it, it's one of the facts that I point out. A lot of the models that we like to enjoy for things like Sisters of Slaughter and all that were originally released for Dark Elves. Like, it's, you know, the Witches, the Cauldron of Bloods, so many plastic kits that were just like, right, we're dropping all this into Cities of Sigmar. Guess what, guys? You work with the High Elves now. Make friends. Yeah. Centuries of being bitter enemies all of a sudden just swept under the rug. Because it's like, well, we want to make the cool fish elves now. So yeah, I get it. There's going to be a lot of like the vampire counts, right? It's set in the old world. The vampire counts border the empire directly. Sylvania was an empire state. How on earth can you miss them out of the equation? It's because of all of the undead stuff in Age of Sigmar and the crossover, and they're trying very carefully to carve these things out into their own specific niches. But I digress at this point. I'm just going off on a tangent. So, yes, the old world has returned. There is a wonderful battle report. Go and watch it because, honestly, it is a breath of fresh air for some of the stuff we've seen over the last 10 years. you can guarantee all the usual simps are coming out of the woodwork to be like, oh my god, Games Workshop sent me this new product to review and build, and you know, all that. And I guess I'm no different. Oh, so as always, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode. There's a lot coming out in January, so just keep your eyes peeled this month, all right? I've been on holiday, but I've been grinding out videos, okay? So goodbye, my friends. Goodbye.